I've called out Dan Schneider for being a creep plenty of times on this channel. From making Carly appear naked in a bathtub when the source material he's referencing does not show a girl naked in the bathtub at all, to showing an underage Ariana Grande getting hosed down by water guns in her bikini, and of course, his general obsession with toes and feet. And it's not just me. Lots of people have criticized Dirty Dan for all the uncomfortable and inappropriate jokes involving teenagers and children on his old Nickelodeon shows. And if you watch Quiet on Set, you'll even learn about some of his creepy behind-the-scenes behavior, like making female employees give him massages on set. But there's one thing he's done that I have yet to see anyone else call him out for, and it involves the episode iFix, A Popstar from Season 3 of iCarly. I'll get into the plot in more detail, but basically, the sole purpose of this episode is to brutally mock and humiliate Brittney Spears as much as possible. And not only has this episode aged really poorly, but also, this is absolute weirdo behavior for Dirty Dan to have even made this episode. For those of you that don't know, Jamie Lynn Spears, who played Zoe on Zoe 101, is actually the younger sister of Brittney Spears. And let's just think about that for a moment. Dan Schneider was the creator of Zoe 101, which ran from 2005 to 2008. He worked closely with Jamie Lynn that entire time, and then in 2010, just 2 years after Zoe 101 ended, he released an entire episode of iCarly mocking Brittney Spears, her older sister? That's some completely antisocial behavior. Like, honestly, it's bizarre. And it's even weirder when you consider that Dirty Dan actually knew the entire Spears family. Her parents had to be at least somewhat involved, and her brother, Brian Spears, was even a co-producer of Zoe 101 as well. So when Dirty Dan mocks Brittney Spears, he's not just poking fun at a random famous pop star, he's mocking a person whose entire family he knows on a personal level. I can't imagine how awkward that is, or how socially inappropriate you'd have to be as a person to think it's okay to do that. Hell, Brittney Spears herself wrote the theme song for Zoe 101. She also guest starred in multiple episodes of All That, and Alexa Nicholas, who played Nicole, described having a run-in with Brittney on set of Zoe 101. So between Zoe 101 and her several appearances on All That, there's pretty good chances that Dan Schneider met Brittney personally a few times before he would go on to create an entire episode making fun of her. And that is simply not the correct way to behave. But enough of me ranting, let's get into this abomination of an episode and dig into how mean-spirited this episode is towards my girl Brittney. As always, if you like this video, please be sure to throw us a like and maybe even subscribe. I might just hold a lit lighter to my nipples if you do. And if you have any other episodes or shows you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. All right, let's dive in. So the episode starts off with Sam spanking a fake tuna on iCarly, and I bet she's practicing for what she's gonna do to Freddy's cheeks just a few episodes later. Then some random little kids are brought in to see Gibby dressed as the statue of Gibberty, but he scares them and they run off traumatized. Freddy then announces that the music video they made for Wade Collins back in the day is the #3 most downloaded video on Peartunes, which is of course a reference to the season 2 episode I Rock the Vote, or as I mostly remember it, the Hobknocker episode. We just gotta pause for a second. This music video is an actual assault on the eyeballs. I'm surprised it hasn't given anyone a seizure yet. Freddy fucking found every single effect in the video editing software and added every single one of them as rapidly as he could. It's fucking disgusting. The iCarly kids hype each other up for basically being successful music video directors, and then the little kids run back into the room screaming and begin to beat Gibby with weapons. Who gave them the weapons? That had to be planned as part of the skit, right? But Freddy looks surprised, and none of the main characters could have given them all the weapons since they were on camera the entire time. Freddy rewatches the Wade Collins music video they made to stroke his own dick a little. Then Sam asks, what's the #1 video of all time? Turns out, it's Hate Me Love Me by pop star Ginger Fox, the episode's first, not so subtle, Brittney Spears reference. In real life, Brittney has a song named If You Seek Amy, which features the lyrics, love me, hate me, say what you want about me, which is very similar to Hate Me Love Me, you can't deny. The kids comment that Ginger Fox used to be good until her career went in the toilet.
Ginger, what are you doing?
Washing my hair.
That's not even shampoo. That's blue cheese dressing.
Get out of my bathroom.
And if the name, appearance, and song title weren't enough hints, this scene makes it even more obvious that it's Brittney Spears being referenced, since she famously had some very public meltdowns in front of the paparazzi in the 2000s, which most of society treated like an entertaining joke, which it wasn't. Spencer shows up and tells the kids he met a hot girl and scored a date with her. Good for him. Cut to the Schneider rehearsal loft because Dirty Dan is a narcissist who can't resist a self-insert. Ginger Fox's manager tells her she has to be fantastic at the Pop Music Awards because she hasn't had a hit song in years, and this is supposed to be her big comeback. But she doesn't feel like rehearsing, and she fired the director for telling her what to do.
But I think I'm the biggest pop star like ever.
You were.
She pulls up a clip of the Wade Collins music video and says, "Get me the guys who directed this." Cut to Spencer and his date eating spaghetti tacos, and everything seems to be going well. She likes his cooking and she's impressed by his special socks, and I bet they stay on while fucking. But he keeps staring at her because she looks familiar somehow. Just then, Freddie and Gibby show up at the door and ask if they can go upstairs to install some nerd shit.
But make it fast. I got a hot one in the kitchen.
No worries.
Gibby? Mom?
Oh my God.
Ah, jeez. Spencer then has an existential crisis about wanting to bang Gibby's mom. He's so distracted by his existential crisis that he forgets to tell Carly that Ginger Fox's manager called and wants to hire them all.
I talked to some guy named Spencer.
Oh yeah, Ginger Fox's manager called. He's coming over here to meet you.
Cut to the kids all irritated because they're waiting around for Ginger Fox and she isn't showing up. Sam says, "Let's get the hell out of here."
We're not gonna pass up a chance to work with Ginger Fox. She's a huge star.
She was, till she hopped on the cycle train and crashed into Has-Been Island.
And they finally meet Ginger Fox after she's done peeing in the backstage area. And Carly points out the award show is in like 5 days, which isn't a lot of time to get prepared. The manager says not to worry because they already laid out a basic routine with the old director, and Ginger starts dancing terribly while practicing the routine. A weird thing to make fun of Brittney Spears for, since she's well known for being an extremely good dancer slash performer. Her snake dance was fucking iconic. The manager yells at Ginger that she's doing the moves all wrong, and she throws a fork at him, but it really hits Freddie, impaling him, and I'll be honest, I don't really like that. The unpleasant, mean, gross out humor is what you usually get on Victorious, like the punchline being Tori losing pints of blood or Andre having a giant neck tumor, and I just don't find these jokes to be that funny. I find it icky and lazy. Instead of getting him medical help and a tetanus shot, Sam rips the fork out of Freddie's chest. Disgusting.
You believe that 6 years ago, Buzz Magazine named her sexiest woman alive?
Two things here. One, the fictional Buzz magazine is also mentioned in Zoe 101, when Logan gets all the girls to compete in a beauty pageant, with the prize being a feature in Buzz magazine.
Whoever wins gets to be on the cover
Of Buzz Magazine.
Buzz? No way!
And two, Brittney Spears was actually voted sexiest woman in the world by a men's magazine in the early 2000s. Hell, she was even crowned hottest woman alive in 2004. You know, 6 years before this iCarly episode even released. Just like Sam said.
You believe that 6 years ago, Buzz Magazine named her sexiest woman alive?
A news reporter barges in and announces to the world that the iCarly crew is directing Ginger Fox's big comeback performance at the Pop Music Awards. And the kids realize they're screwed because her performance is most likely gonna be trash, and now they're gonna be blamed for it. And honestly, even if she wasn't a mess of a human being, how did they expect to pull this off? Making a music video with video editing and special effects is not nearly the same thing as choreographing and directing a live performance? They have no idea what they're doing. Cut to Spencer on a date with Gibby's mom, and when he starts to lean in for a smooch, he sees Gibby's face instead. He then slaps the shit out of her, and turns out she likes domestic violence. So they kiss for real now. Then he sees Gibby's face in full drag again as soon as the smooching is done.
Gibby lips.
And Gibby in drag is a visual I will never forget until I die. Back at the rehearsal, Ginger Fox shows up 4 hours late and then acts disgustingly gross again by sticking her used tissue on someone's arm. I hate it. Also, why is Freddie a 3-star general? What the fuck is that shirt? Finally, they get to actually rehearse.
Dancers, you dance.
And again, the iCarly kids have no business directing a live performance. They literally have no idea what to do. Ginger Fox doesn't know the words, and she also can't fucking sing. Okay. Someone then drops off Ginger Fox's baby, and this is even more evidence the pop star they're parodying is clearly meant to be Brittney Spears. They even say it's her son in the episode.
Someone take this.
And here's a picture of real-life Brittney Spears crying with her newborn son in a restaurant after she nearly fell while trying to get away from the paparazzi. And the media ran with it and called her an unfit mother. Fucking ridiculous. Back at the apartment, Gibby's mom shows up and she's pissed that Spencer's ignoring her. He tells her he can't do it anymore because she looks too much like Gibby. But she hassles him saying, well, you look like Carly, but I'm not letting that ruin things. And then they decide to smooch again and things get interesting.
Wanna kiss again?
What? What's wrong?
You look like Carly.
Ah!
Why'd you scream?
You look like Gibby.
Okay, I'm loving this B-plot. I'll say that, I'm loving it. Upstairs, Carly and Sam watch an old Ginger Fox music video, and I'll give it to the creeps at Nickelodeon who made this fake song. It does sound a lot like a real Brittney song. It's even catchy, damn it. I want a full version.
How could Ginger Fox have seemed so awesome 7 years ago?
She was young then. Now she's all 26 and old.
26 and old. 26 and old.
Sam better watch her damn mouth. I'm not gonna lie, that line hurts me. I'm pissed, I'm livid. I had to pause the TV and do some stretching because I felt my bones starting to lock up. I'm fucking pissed. Freddie points out that even back in the day, none of it was real, just auto-tune and lighting effects and filters. So they decide the best thing for the live performance would be to have Ginger lip sync.
Lip syncing fixes the singing issue.
And I guess hair, makeup, costumes, lighting, and no close-ups can make her look less disgusting.
Wait a second. Why did it take 3 random teenagers to come up with that idea? Her manager, who does this for a living, couldn't think of that clever solution of lip syncing? What? Cut to the real performance, where Ginger Fox's manager randomly confesses his evil plan like a cartoon Disney villain.
Ginger has 0 talent.
I know. That's why I made this your responsibility. If she fails, she blames you iCarly people. Not me.
Why do the kids even care? Because their names will be ruined in the music industry? They're not music producers! Who the hell cares if they have freaking performance flops? It doesn't matter. The song starts off, and I'll give it to them again, it's a great fake song. It sounds like a real Brittney song, which is impressive, and I actually like it. And fun fact, you can actually hear this song in the Victoria special, Freak the Freak Out, when the Northridge girls perform in the karaoke contest.
We're gonna sing number 1.
Oh, the hit by Ginger Fox. All right, here it comes.
So forget what you heard, this is my world. So forget what you heard, this is my world.
All right, I only just noticed this as I was editing the video, but it really fucking pisses me off, so I'm gonna rant about it. Why the fuck is the Ginger Fox song called number 1 in the Victorious episode, when in both the iCarly episode and even the fucking Victorious episode, in the credits, the song is listed as My World, which is the proper title, not fucking number 1. What is this, Robbie Rotten in Lazy Town? Also, isn't the entire plot of this episode about the iCarly gang directing Ginger Fox's performance? Then why the fuck does it say directed by Lisa Lillian in the Victorious episode? For that matter, why is there a director listed at all? It doesn't show a video of the performance. It's just a karaoke version of the song. There is no fucking director. Look, I'm fine with referencing old shows. In fact, I think it's cute. I think it adds charm. But fucking get the details right. If you're the actual creator of this show and you don't even know your own lore, why the fuck are you referencing it? The live performance goes surprisingly well. They use smoke machines, clever camera angles, and lip syncing to hide all of Ginger's flaws. And it's basically mission accomplished, but instead of being happy their plan worked, the iCarly kids actually seem annoyed because Ginger's getting a bunch of applause that she doesn't deserve. Okay, so the kids were extremely worried about the performance flopping and it not going well and their name being tarnished. But when it does go well, they're fucking pissed. They couldn't have won. They would have been upset and disappointed either way, but whatever.
Did she shave into her arms? I don't think she shaved into her arms.
Except earlier in the episode, she did that same pose, and you could clearly see she didn't have hairy armpits like that. What the fuck? Can she grow hair on command? The last scene shows the kids getting annoyed by all the love and praise Ginger Fox is getting on TV from her fans. They complain she has no talent, while Spencer complains he feels like he kissed Gibby. And I gotta be honest, I think it's fair to say that this has gotta be one of the most poorly aged iCarly episodes in the entire series. Sure, it used to be popular back in the day to shit on Brittney Spears. Everyone was doing it. Even other Nickelodeon shows were poking fun at her back in the 2000s. And I'm looking at you, Fairly Odd Parents.
Hi, I'm Pop Diva Brittney. These the Brittney dancers?
There's no other explanation for the appearance of this overly hyped, shabbily clad pop diva superstar.
Hello, I'm right here.
But this iCarly episode is so much meaner than that. It goes beyond just poking fun at Brittney. It actually straight up calls her a disgusting, worthless, and talentless human being.
We have a talentless woman who can't sing, can't dance, and looks terrible.
Ooh, this thinking's fun.
And I'm not sure what exactly gave Dan Schneider the balls to insult another person for their own appearance, but just to be clear, here's what Brittney looked like in 2010 when this episode came out calling her ugly, and here's what Dirty Dan looked like that same year. Oh yeah, and aside from calling her unattractive and talentless, this episode also implies she's a horrible mother.
Has anybody seen my baby? His name is Brian. It's Billy. His name is Billy.
I might have found these jokes funny as a kid when I didn't know any better, especially because, like I said, it felt like the whole world was making jokes about Brittney Spears shaving her head and all her public meltdowns. But really, she was a young woman that was clearly struggling, and instead of anyone trying to help her, we shoved cameras in her face and laughed at her. No one cared about her mental health. All anyone cared about was kicking her when she was already down. Everyone treated her as if she was a zoo animal. Seriously, if you go back and watch any of the Brittney Spears paparazzi videos from the 2000s, the way she was treated was absolutely abhorrent. And while doing research for this video, I even cried a little. Brittney, you deserve so much better. And real quick, Dirty Dan isn't the only one who I'm judging here for being a piece of shit human being. I'm also gonna turn the gun on Jamie Lynn Spears, because she should never have agreed to work with Nickelodeon again after they disrespected and mocked her sister this way. And yet in 2023, she starred in Zoe 102, a piece of shit movie where she reprised the role of Zoe, happily earning money for the network that called her own sister unattractive, untalented, and worthless. If that had been me, after this iFix A Popstar episode premiered, I would have told Nickelodeon to lose my number and go fuck themselves, because how dare they shit all over my family member like that. So yeah, Jamie Lynn is a real loser for that. But enough of me yapping. What did you guys think of iFix A Popstar? Do you agree with me that it aged poorly, or do you think it's still pretty funny? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. And as always, I gotta give a massive, throbbing, veiny, sensual, aggressive shout out to the Patreon and channel members. I say it each time, but don't let it ever lose any meaning. I love you all. If you're still here, that's great, that's amazing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, maybe subscribe and check out some other videos. You might have fun, you might not, who knows. All right, thanks for listening.